Yo, 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 good afternoon or good evening. I want to welcome everybody to our podcast for veterans by veterans. My name is Michael. My rank, some people ask, could we give our rank out? So, Specialist Michael Patterson. We got we got Sergeant Ken Walton, and we got First Sergeant,
No,
Master Sergeant,
no.
Sergeant First
Yeah.
Class,
First class.
Paul Davis.
Hey, now if you could get me retired with that check, I'll take it.
You take it?
Yeah, I would. I gotta stick with my E4P.
Okay, that's right. E4.
I don't want nobody coming back talking about stolen valor and none of that. No.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna stick with my E4 also, man. The best day is the best day. Hey, so to get everything kicked out, let me ask y'all this right here. After knowing what y'all know now, would you all do it all over again? And why?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Why, Walt? Why would you do it all over again?
Well, I got a split answer on that. As far as the military, I do it. I definitely do it all over again. I don't know if I would have changed my MOS. When they teach you something, train you something, and you try to start all over again, you hit rock bottom. Like you basically a rookie in that MOS. So that part I might do a little different, but definitely be back in the army again.
Right. And you what was your original MOS?
13 Bravo Field Artillery.
What's the sound
Bang
of
bang. Bang bang, baby.
and then what did you change over to?
12 Bravo Combat Engineering.
Okay,
And
okay.
don't get me wrong, I loved both of them. I enjoyed myself. The learning experience was pretty good, but sheesh, that catch up part was, yeah, that was the tough part there.
Right. But when you changed MOSs, did they send you back to AIT, Advanced Individual Training? For
Yeah, yeah,
people that don't understand.
back to Fort Lost in the Woods, Fort
Um,
Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah, yeah.
well, man, I passed by there, man. Never stopped, man. Never.
I was
St.
stationed
Robert's,
there
baby.
I was stationed there for a minute. So I feel you.
Yeah. All right, Jamal, what about you, man?
I mean, I'll do it again in a heartbeat, knowing, going through what we went through in the beginning together and learning all those lessons. And if they came to me and said, hey, you can start all over again and do it again, a heartbeat. It wouldn't even be a guess. I wouldn't even second. It wouldn't be a second thought at all.
So let me ask y'all this. What made y'all go in?
Well, I don't want to speak for everybody. I know for myself and from talking to different souls in that everybody's reason for coming in is not what people be, putting on TV or the Patriot and all that. There are some, let's not get it twisted, that like 1%, but most of the time it's somebody trying to find a way.
Oh, he done froze up. What he was gonna say, try to find a way to get a better lifestyle.
Yeah, froze days up.
Yeah, technical difficulty. He'll come back in. What about you, Walden?
Man, I promise during my era, I don't know how anybody could overlook that commercial, be all that you can be. And it would be me sitting in front of the TV with the dude with the coffee saying, "Good morning, sir." I'm like, yeah, I do that. That's easy. But yeah, maybe it was that, but it was the biggest part of it was a family thing. I had a lot of family that's been through the military and stuff, and it just seemed like you follow those guidelines. Coming out of school and everything. That's the next best thing to do. Mm-hmm.
Right. And for me, my MOS was the best of all 92 Alpha. supplies, so whatever I needed or wanted, I was comfortable, pretty much my whole time in. We went out to the field problems. I had a huge generator, I had running water.
You had it right.
I had lights, had a radio. My last year I had figured out how to order a TV. We had figured out how to order video games, man. So
Dog.
just during downtime, I don't want
Must be
nobody,
nice.
just during downtime, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would definitely do it all over again, man. To be honest, just my opinion, I think everybody should at least do a minimum of 2 years, and service for your country, man. Because then you have an understanding of the words that you say, and people talking about freedom, like you'll really have an appreciation for it, and until you lay your life down for your country, if you hadn't done that, all you really talking is words. You really don't understand what that freedom means, especially being a young soldier. And, do y'all remember the first time y'all signed y'all toe tag?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a weird feeling, man.
That was intense. Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
wait a minute, bro.
Look, I remember my ex. We were in Fort Carson at the JAG building, and I remember I was like, "Well, what is this?" And so I said, "Oh, that's your toe tag." I said, "Toe tag." I looked down. I said, "What my toe need a tag for?" He was like, "Nah, this in case you don't make it back and you on ice." And at that point, it was real for me. At that point, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, man. So excited about that. So we're at this 1 year anniversary, man, about the COVID shutdown, Breanna Taylor, George Floyd, whole situation. And I just want to get you guys' perspective on. First, let's talk about the COVID shutdown. The year anniversary. Do you all remember what you all were doing last year?
Yeah, I was working and ready to have my birthday celebration and head up to Colorado. And right before that happened, everything was shut down. So we got our the way that we went to work changed. You had to start working from home, and the way that you socialize changed immediately. You stayed at home. You did video chats like we're doing now. You did different things like that. So yeah, I remember exactly what I was doing. I went from a big celebration that I was and let's watch some TV on my birthday last year.
Right. And I remember, Jamal, me and you having a conversation about how difficult it was going to be for regular civilians. Because us with our military background and people who've been in the military, we already understand what lockdown is.
Yeah.
We done been through lockdown, quarantine. You go out to the field, especially, if you overseas or if you go into one of those training, you doing 30 to 60 to 90 days at a time,
Right.
So I remember us talking about that and being like, well, for us, it's not going to be as bad, but for regular civilians, it was going to take a toll on them. What about you? Go ahead, Jamal.
No, I thought Walt was getting ready to say something. That's why I stopped.
Oh, yeah. As you were saying that, I was thinking about Camp Casey and Camp Hovey down there in Korea. Talk about lockdown. We might as well have been quarantined down that mug. You ought to see a brother scrambling trying to get back in that gate, boy. Them drinking girls was something else down there, but yeah, I had just came back from Dominican Republic, and everything was cool. Everything wasn't nothing locked down. I didn't, was none the wiser about what was actually taking place. And I've been in paradise and stuff, so feeling pretty good. But get home, get the news on, and I'm like, what is going on? And like almost immediately after that, stuff just went straight black, like shut down everything. And like y'all said, man, you just go back into that mental state regardless of how long it's been since you've done it, you go back in that mental state as a vet, like, well, okay, how long we got to do this?
Yeah.
I got my pokey bait. I got me a good spot to sleep. I'm ready, bro.
Yeah,
Hey, speaking of poke bait, man, and I come back to it, man. I remember. Do y'all remember? I don't forget. We were going somewhere, man. Not NTC. What was the other one we went to?
Pinion
Down
Canyon.
in Louisiana.
What?
Pinion Canyon.
Pinion
Pinion
Canyon.
Canyon. Yeah, right.
Trinidad,
Yeah,
Colorado.
yeah. Pinion
Somewhere
Canyon.
nearby.
I remember, man. It was. I think it was my first time. Might have been my second time going to Pinion Canyon, and I went and got my poke bait. And I remember, Walt, you probably don't remember this, man. You said you came up to me, you asked me something. I said, "Nah, I just got finished to get my poke bait," and you said poke bait, and I opened up my cooler. You said, "Man, what the hell you gonna do with all that?"
You had groceries. You had no poke bait. You had groceries.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh man, because I did not want to eat MREs, man, 3 times a day.
Yeah.
That's not an MREs, man.
That's 5 o'clock traffic for your system, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a lockdown in itself, right there.
Right.
Yeah. That's lockdown. Yeah. So yeah, mentally, I think we were prepared.
Right. For me, my cousin had just came down, and I gave him what I call the Miami Beach tour. And so we went to South Beach, and I got tickets for us to go to the Miami Heat game. And it was his first time going to the NBA game. Took him over there. And, man, we having a blast, man, having a good time, man. And he got a text on his phone saying the NBA season was going to be shut down. And we like, shut down? For real? And then when it got in the fourth quarter, they made the announcement. It was going to be the last game of the season, until further notice.
Wow.
And then when we got back to Fort Myers, that's when we got the news about the rest of the league. So he happened to get out. He got out of town. He got back to his home right before they did a complete shutdown. So that was really the last time. Just being normal. And we was at an NBA game. So. But during COVID, let me ask you fellas this, man. During COVID, did you guys pick up any new skills? Any new hobbies?
I don't know about any new skills. I think my reading and studying went through the roof. I started looking at different stuff that's been happening. I don't know why, but for some reason I started looking back in history and just looking at what's happening now, and then what has been happening throughout the history of the United States. So that's what I picked up. That's what I was doing.
Gotcha. I call myself trying to learn myself how to play a keyboard, and the drums. I'm all right with the drums, but yeah, needless to say, that didn't go very far. It get a little frustrating. I'm on a level 1 with that. But I gotta mention, I was big time into the reading and researching thing, just like Davis was talking about. I was intrigued by a lot of things, and one thing led to the next. I cut that keyboard. I was like, forget this, and that was more intriguing to me, it seemed. So yeah, learned a lot.
Okay. I'm trying to think. I ended up going back to school, trying to finish up my master's that I started umpteen years ago. And, I've been working on that and a couple other projects, did with that, looked at a little bit of real estate and, just trying to figure out some stuff, just trying to figure some stuff out, and so, matter of fact, this podcast, came from out of the quarantine,
Yeah.
we have been talking about it, And I say, hey man, as soon as I learn what I'm doing, man, we're gonna do something, you know. So, here we go. Here we go. Let me ask you guys about this, man. Now we talk about history. Let's talk about Breanna Taylor and the whole situation that went down with her. When I think about that situation, I think about the movie just came out, but I've had learned about the brother Fred Hampton, and that was in 1969, and Breonna Taylor happened 2020, and then you got all these numerous, you know, uh, killings that happen like that, man. Like how did that take a toll on you guys? Plus the George Floyd situation, man. We need, his family. I believe his family just got over $20 million the other day. Like, how did all that play a toll on you guys as far as your mental psyche and just going by your everyday living?
Who you want to go first?
Oh, you can go ahead. Go ahead first, Sergeant.
So I'll say this. In my case, it was kind of like twofold. Like it was you watch and you see the injustice and you trying to get your head wrapped around that. Like, okay, maybe we got to figure out how we're gonna, get this system squared away. But then you see other people's reaction to it, and their reaction is totally different from yours. And you're trying real hard to figure out where the heck are they coming from? What is making you say what you just said? You know what I'm saying? A good example would be the Charles Barkley and Shaq comment about the Breonna Taylor situation, where obviously they were ignorant to what they were. They didn't know. They obviously didn't know what the situation was about because they had made a comment about the boyfriend or the fiance, whatever. They had made a comment saying he should be going to jail. He was at fault for something and so on and so forth. And that was not the case. And
right.
I mean, and people, a lot of people listen to those guys and take what they said and it's like, see, I told you that's what I'm talking about. That's why they should. That justifies what the police did. And it's like, okay, even if that was true, which is not, that does not justify what they did. You know what I'm saying? And oh, by the way, if you're ignorant to something in 2021, these tools out here that you can figure out real quick what's the truth and what's not. So let's stop, with the foolishness. So that's where I'm at with everything, with Breonna Taylor, with Ahmaud Arbery, with George Floyd. It's just getting ridiculous. Like, how do we have a different viewpoint? It's the same thing, and I keep catching myself turning to Matthew McConaughey and thinking about that line he said in A Time to Kill, where he's like, okay, picture that person. Mm-hmm. Maybe they had that moment where people get it. Oh, yeah, this is wrong. Right. So that's where I'm at.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Walt?
I still feel God didn't make any mistakes. We got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, and probably should be listening more. That could have prevented a lot of the comments that was made, especially by Shaq and Charles Barkley. But I practice that quite frequently, and trying to, and it takes patience. I put a little trust into the system to see, how far it goes and what it does. And you say these things has got to go through this process and that. Well, let's see. And so it requires a little patience, although I understand the frustration. And I still haven't, with all the facts or whatever I'm getting back, nothing's justified being asleep in your home and shot. And I can't argue with nobody that disagrees with that being wrong. I can't. If you don't see the injustice in that, I don't have any words for you. We just have to move on with something else, because it's it's unbearable to think about. But as far as the boyfriend with the no knock warrant, got folks. I mean, what is anyone gonna do if someone running your house? Are you gonna ask? Are they? Who are you? Are you gonna ask any questions at all? You guys cops, or are you guys? Are you gonna rob us? No. Uh, More than likely, any of us would have probably done the same thing. Somebody just run through your door like that. That's to me a normal reaction. I don't know how you could be held accountable for your actions. They taught you that in the military.
Right.
Don't walk up to nobody and shake them. They got guard duty next. You don't grab them and shake it. Yeah, you probably finna get your tail whooped.
Right.
Or killed once, especially in Iraq. I stand at the head of the bed and tap the bed or something like that. Stand out of the way. This is just natural reactions, and we know about this. I can't understand when it happens in other situations why we're ignorant. There's no excuse for it for them. But I'm distraught about it. I'm still actually pissed about it, and it would take me a lot to calm down and really talk deeper and more in depth about it. Yeah, because there isn't excusable. So why you should be dead in your sleep for no reason at all.
Right, right. And for me, I quit doing a lot of the things that I was doing prior. So I used to get up and about 4:30, 5 o'clock, go down to the local Publix and walk or jog around the parking lot, you know. And then I was like, well, man, now all these different scenarios start running through your head, you know, and you're thinking like, and I tell anybody, since I was 18, I've either fought for my country or I've been working in my community. I've supported my family. Like I've done everything that you're supposed to do as far as, trying to achieve the American dream. But, anytime them lights pull up behind me, or if I'm in an awkward situation, you know, uh, yeah, your mind just start racing, based off what has happened previously. And a lot of people say, well, hey, man, that couldn't be you. You not that. No, I am that. You know, I am that. So, I can't say it can't be me. It can't be Jamal. It can't be Walton, because we are just like, George and Aubrey, man. And our sister Breanna, we're all just like that. And so from and the whole time that I was listening to everybody talking, on TV and stuff like that, like I never saw our opinion, you know, the
Right.
everyday black man being able to speak and voice his opinion, not the TV guy, but the everyday black man who's
Right.
working in his community, who's defending his country, stuff like that. Never seen his opinion, be broadcasted across any of those news stations. So
Exactly.
that's kind of where I am with it right now. I constantly talk to young males, uh, just about doing the right things. Uh, if you approach, you know, and I know Earthquake. I don't know if you guys seen what Earthquake was talking about. If a guy put a gun in your face, you're gonna do whatever you can do to get out of that situation. You got it, boss. Boss, that's your
Yeah.
word. Yeah, man. Hey, man, whatever you say, you know.
Mm,
And that's how it's crazy. We got to be like that, 2021. But uh, the goal is to get back home safe and sound to our families.
right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So let me ask you guys this. Now, it was an incident that happened about a month ago, and was it maybe no about 2 months ago, where the Capitol was attacked. And I know I couldn't believe what I was watching on TV, and I know some of the viewers gonna be like, well, man, why y'all bringing up old stuff? Why y'all bringing up this? Just because our voices need to be heard, man.
It
And
ain't
this
old either.
platforms allow us to voice our
Hmm.
opinions. It might be a little bit late, but better late than never. Now, how did you guys? I'm talking about being true soldiers. Knowing the creed. How did you guys feel about, or what were you guys thinking when all this took place?
That's on you, Walt.
Yeah, we're gonna let
Man.
you go last.
Where to start? First initial reaction was shock. A little bit of denial, like it's not going to go much further than this, and then it's not going to go much further than that. Okay, it's going to end right there, and it just kept going. So a whole lot of things, just all initial shock, and I think more than anything, watching it was one thing, and then all the facts that came out after it was even more shocking. I'm like, these are military, ex-military, active military, law enforcement,
Right.
the very people we praise about, our freedoms and our rights and everything, a lot of these folks and
Probably some of the guys we serve with.
yeah. Oh man. Ooh.
So
that
let
it
me ask you this: do you think, now we serve with those guys, we in the same foxhole together? Do you think that they were like that then, or were they, because we all get told, we all got the same last name, U.S. Army, and it's only one color, green.
mm-hmm.
Now, do you think they were like that back then, or did it change once they got out and they, I guess, went to their hometown, or they,
It's just where
went to
their
be?
leadership went. They followed where they were led while they were in the military, and they did what they were told. And when they got out, who they followed then was someone different than their previous leaders that led them to believe whatever they were on, whatever type of crap they was on before they stormed that Capitol. It's just, to me, it's a weak mind and poor or bad leadership. Yeah. They were going to do whatever they had to do in the military, whoever told them what, they were going to do it. And so when they got out, they were still in that frame of mind. So if they joined a militia, if they joined a police force, if they joined whatever they got into, they were in it in some deep form where they were going to follow whoever was leading.
Gotcha.
I just want to know, like you said, you brought up the creed, said when you was introducing this topic. What about that stuff? What about Army values or whatever organization you with? They instilled some values, or they told you, hey, these are our core values. This is what we live by. What happened to that? Like, if you served, if you did your thing in the armed forces, whatever, you live by those values. At a certain point, if you stay long enough, I would hope that they become a part of you. How do we sit here now? January 6th gone and passed. They had the trial, whatever, but we knew before the trial was over that the one of the leaders responsible, or the leader responsible, wasn't going to be held accountable.
Right. Mm-hmm.
In the military, the leader takes responsibility for their actions, for their troops' actions. When your soldiers go down to it, if your soldier goes down there, yeah, we hold that person accountable, but then to come back to the leadership and say, okay, why didn't you have certain systems in place sure that this didn't happen? Right. And if we all fail, then hey, we are going to make sure we have these things in place so certain things don't happen again.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But I would just go ahead.
And let me ask you this: so, if these guys are defending the Capitol, and we all know what that means, that the Capitol can't be taken, the White House can't be taken. We know that, Mm-hmm. If those guys would have really did what they were supposed to do, that we were taught to do, it would be a different story today.
Mm-hmm.
Like why is nobody talking about that?
Right. If they
I think they kind of are. They were. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
I think they kind of are talking about that because they have the back end, they going back and saying, okay, what happened? What was the step that you guys took to try to stop this? What happened? What wasn't in place? And they're trying to put those systems in place now, to fix what happened. But at the same time, it just seems real. Seems like there was an inside. Just put it that way. It seems like it's a coordinated event because when you see on the news when they're talking about, well, why didn't you guys have the National Guard out there? Why didn't y'all respond to all the calls for help, so on and so forth? And for some reason, leadership or certain personnel delayed the reaction, delayed the response.
Purposely.
So those guys, as you watch, there were some guys that was out there, part of that police force, that was in on it. They took pictures. They was happy to assist those guys. Then we had a lot of other individuals that were doing their job and trying to make sure that the politicians that was in there made it out safe or got somewhere safe. A lot of those guys sacrificed, their well-being. This is a certain thing happening. So
this is the thing, though. With all the back to blue chants and everything, I haven't heard anything from those same people about the fallen officer Sicknick, who died doing his job, died on duty. I'm not seeing anything on Facebook. No, nothing. Not from the. I watched his memorial that they had and everything, but I'm not seeing all this on Facebook about a fallen officer. I'm not seeing any of it.
Or Fox News.
Yeah, right. Fox News either. They didn't even cover it as they were burying this man. They didn't even cover it. But back to blue.
Right.
Wow.
I think we need to continue to have these conversations, but we also need to start applying some stuff, and maybe it just hasn't gotten down to our level yet, but
yeah.
I definitely believe for the next couple of generations coming through, I do believe that we're gonna see more changes, in the near and in the near future, if that makes sense.
I hope so.
Things are gonna come.
Just looking back at the history of this country, and I don't know if you heard of the Colfax massacre or any of these different massacres that's happened, but it's still similar to what happened on January 6th. One group of people were mad because of the outcome of an election,
right?
And they decided to take it into their own hands, and they decided to use violence and not we're all about democracy until the wrong side loses. And
right.
That's crazy. But we talking about Colfax massacre is 1866. It's 2021, and we still going through this foolishness.
Still going through it, right?
Right. But that's the type of stuff that that you don't. It's not taught in schools.
Yeah,
if you don't go and really look up your history, you'll believe that everything that we're being given is the truth, and it's not, it's not.
Check it out for yourself, right?
You gotta check it out for yourself, man. We got this great tool called Google. You got Bing.
Right.
Too
many references.
And don't just say it. Check it out for real. Because we've seen some of y'all on TV at some of these rallies talking about don't be a sheep, check it out for yourself. And y'all ain't check it out because you spouting some stuff that didn't even happen. Don't even make sense.
Right.
It's not even a fact.
Right. Well, gentlemen, we coming to about the end of our show, man. And first, I don't know what you got for us today, man.
I don't know about first time.
Hey, man, You our first sergeant, man. You our
man.
first sergeant, man. You know, me and Walt, we went long as we could, man. You
Well,
said before, man.
Oh shit! Yeah, we jumped off the ship, bro.
the real first sergeant will be here next week, if I'm not mistaken. So
He'll be here next week, man. The man, the myth, the legend. They call him First Sergeant Jesse Player, and yes, his last name is really Player. So he'll be on here next week, and next week gonna be a real fun show, man. Real fun show. So I guess I'll close us out. Hey man, I want to thank everybody for coming in and checking us out today. Remember, it's not always about what you hear. Go and research for yourself. If it's anything on here that you think that we were given false information, please go check it out for yourself, and then come back and correct us. You know, because we always looking for that as well, man. So we won't be going forward with bad information, okay? Or maybe something we didn't understand. So just want to check the deuces. Make sure you hit the like, the share, the follow, the subscribe, the Impact Media channel on Facebook, the Impact Group on Instagram, and the Impact Media channel on YouTube. Jamal, you got a place where they can find you?
You can find me through Mike. I'm good.
All right. What about you, Walt?
Yeah. Shoot. Hey, Ken Walden. And Facebook, KIN Walden. And just look me up, bro. Yeah. Any information you want to add, anything, you know, I'll look it up myself. I'll always stand to be corrected. I ain't got a problem with it.
All right. Chuck the deuces. Peace.
All out.
All right.